Teaching AI to truly listen is one of the most transformative challenges I've faced in clinical genomics. When I first stepped into this field, I imagined my days filled with endless hours of reading dense journal articles, organizing patient data in spreadsheets, and writing Python code deep into the night. I was ready to be a coder, not a listener. But everything shifted when I started working with clinical notes, those messy, personal, and often inconsistent records left behind by doctors. Hidden within these notes were invaluable hints: a family history of breast cancer, a mention of a BRCA1 gene mutation, or a cautious reference to a diagnosis. These small pieces of information are crucial. They influence how patients are diagnosed, treated, and how new discoveries are made. Here's the catch: these clues are incredibly easy to overlook. Manually sifting through thousands of patient records is not only time-consuming, but also subjective and prone to mistakes. This is exactly where artificial intelligence, particularly natural language processing, NLP, began to revolutionize my work. As a bioinformatics graduate student at Michigan Medicine, I develop hybrid NLP systems that blend structured data with narrative context, algorithms designed to read with nuance, understanding that words like positive don't always mean good news, and phrases like no history might actually signal a warning. Our models integrate traditional machine learning techniques, such as conditional random fields, with specialized medical rules and genetic vocabularies. These rules, grounded in clinical expertise, help avoid errors like misinterpreting no family history of breast cancer as a risk factor. Meanwhile, the genetic lexicons act like detailed dictionaries, filled with gene names, mutation types, and clinical terms, enabling the system to accurately extract important genetic variants, inheritance patterns, and other clinical details from the often chaotic notes. The outcome: a much faster and more reliable way to identify patients who could benefit from genetic testing or enrollment in clinical trials. For instance, if a note says, "Mother diagnosed with breast cancer at 42, patient reports positive BRCA1 mutation," our system flags this as a high-risk case and promptly notifies clinicians to consider genetic counseling or suitable clinical trials. This approach reduces delays, minimizes subjective judgment, and helps ensure that fewer patients fall through the cracks. What surprised me the most wasn't just the power of these AI tools, but how they challenged my own assumptions. What does accuracy really mean in a medical context? Which mistakes are tolerable and which are not? In clinical NLP, a single mislabel can have serious consequences. It's not just a data error, it could mean a patient is missed entirely. For example, if the system mistakenly reads "no history of colon cancer" as "history of colon cancer," a patient might undergo unnecessary tests, or even worse, a real risk might be ignored. In genetic medicine, such errors can delay diagnosis and treatment, sometimes with life-altering results. There's still a long journey ahead. I'm now investigating how to move beyond simply extracting information to actually interpreting it. Can we create models that not only detect genetic risks, but also summarize them in a way that's meaningful and actionable? Could AI help uncover disparities in who has access to genetic counseling or specialized care? AI hasn't replaced my role. It has reshaped it. It has made me more meticulous, more collaborative, and more inquisitive. In a field where the data is deeply human, the greatest lesson AI has taught me is how to listen carefully and thoughtfully. But here's where it gets controversial. As we rely more on AI to interpret sensitive medical information, how do we balance trust in technology with the irreplaceable nuance of human judgment? Are we ready to accept AI's role in decisions that could change lives? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you believe AI can truly understand the complexities of human health? Or are there risks we're overlooking? Share your opinions below.